Our Wltoys 10428 Vaterra Twin Hammers, aka Green Hammer, buggy out for its first initial run. Everyone has not gotten the tires dirty as of yet, so this is its first run. And we also have my niece's Redcat Gen 8 Jeep Comanche out here as well. We've done some things to the Jeep Comanche since the last time it was seen on video, everyone. Went ahead and installed a worn 9.5 CTI winch on the front there with a wireless winch controller. And then I went ahead and installed some different shock springs on it, some RC 4-wheel drive 110mm King off-road shock springs, and we softened it up and got the truck to ride significantly lower than what it was previously. So we've got three firsts going on here, everyone. First test run with the Redcat Gen 8 Jeep Comanche after doing the suspension upgrades and the winch installation. First test run with the Wltoys 10428 Vaterra Twin Hammers, aka Green Hammer buggy. And also the first test run with the Trxxas 6x6 towing the Fayiu Tandom Axle stainless steel and aluminum trailer. So three firsts there. So here we go, everyone. Wltoys moving up that first rock wall, first rock obstacle. One wheel high in the air over there on the other side. Once again, all Vaterra internals. Redcat Gen 8 rolling up to the plate. New lowered suspension. Sagged out suspension, I should say, not lowered, just sagged out. We still have full travel with our 110mm shocks. Just riding in a sagged out position. We're going to try to speed this up as much as possible for y'all today, just because we're running out of daylight and the track is quite large. Wltoys moving into the tunnel. Coming back out to the first log obstacle here. Making his way along just fine. Gen 8 Jeep Comanche making its way along. Showing off that awesome suspension ride height. Moving right along, one of our sections that's going to be removed here shortly. Doing a lot of upgrades to the track over the last few weeks, everyone. Still working on it. This little section right here is soon to be removed, along with that other section that we just came down. Wltoys Green Hammer working his way through the rocks here. First real rock section. Focus of our film mainly on this vehicle. Our brother's Wltoys 10428 at this point in time. Birthday project build. I gave him the buggy and he purchased the parts, and there we go. Gen 8 working its way through with its killer suspension, worn 9.5 winch mounted on the front, 9.5 CTI. Try to show off that articulation and ground clearance that we're sporting with this baby.
Way along. Yeah, this Wltoys looking pretty good. Old Redcat Gen 8, man, legs for days.
Green Hammer's coming up to the first brick hill. Well, off camber section. Can be difficult with open differentials, that is for sure. And he is walking right up and over. Gen 8 making its approach. Walking right on up. Wltoys coming up to the difficult brick hill. And he is just walking right on up that without a problem. I'm trying my darnest to get this thing to turn as tight as I could possibly get it to go. Gen 8 is walking right on up. Wltoys making his way into the rumble strip. Redcat Gen 8 making its way in. Moving into our next little rock section here, everyone, talking about track construction. Here's a new area that's currently under construction over underneath our big over-under log bridge. We are currently building another over-under rock bridge underneath our log bridge, which is going to connect back down to this other path down here. So currently under construction, trying to get all this stuff put back together. So a new path coming up here soon. Here's our rock topper for that guy. Quite large, about 4 feet long, 2.5 feet wide. This can be our new bridge top for a new over-under rock bridge. Wltoys making his way through, showing off those beautiful green wheels, those Boom Racing Sandstorm Crate 1.9 aluminum beadlocks, RC 4-wheel drive 1.9 Interco IROC tires, and a little belly snag there, and he crawled his way right through. Gen 8 showing off those long legs back there. The incredible ground clearance that it has. Incredible chassis clearance. So incredible that we're right off the course. Showing off the clearance and I'm driving off the course. Legs for days on this truck. Legs for days. Axle snag going on with the twin hammers here, Green Hammer. He's making his way through. That's a pretty large rock he's attempting to crawl over. Not the best turning radius on the old Wltoys, as we have seen from my previous Wltoys videos. The Green Hammer twin hammer is no exception. Wltoys Green Hammer making his way up to the log bridge. First log bridge attempt. He is almost there. Nice job. Gen 8 making his way on up the hill. On the Traxxas 1.9 Canyon Trails custom cut, aka cheater tires. Boom Racing Sandstorm Crate 1.9 aluminum wheels. Wltoys making his way down the hill. Getting used to his brake on the ESC. Getting used to the feel for the vehicle. I'm just kind of coasting down right now. vehicle roll. Wltoys coming into the next brick off camber. Usually good for getting a tire in the air for certain vehicles rolling through that section. Wltoys able to hold the ground no problem. Gen 8 also able to hold that stretch without a problem. No tires in the air for the Gen 8. Making our way along over towards the Teeter-totter is where we're aiming. Last time we had the Wltoys out here, we had that baby on the Teeter-totter, and we're going to give it another run here. Rolling through the Sandpit and heading on over to the Teeter-totter. Gen 8 working his way through. Oh, a little high on the wall there. Almost roll over. There's a big drop coming down into that sand hole there to be three-wheeling on in. That soft suspension saved us on the way in there. 10-428 green hammer on the brick bridge. Man, walking right up that, no problems. Piece of cake for the twin hammers, green hammers, whatever hammers. 10-428. Redcat Gen 8. 313mm wheelbase, 110mm King off-road oil-filled shocks. Moment I've been waiting for, seeing the Wltoys on the Teeter-totter. Oh, piece of cake. Hold that pause there, Ian. Last time we did this, everybody, we had an open front differential at the 2.2 RC four-wheel drive mudslingers on here. And we had one right front tire high in the air. Go ahead there, E. We have all the tires planted on the ground. And he is walking up that just fine. You want to hold there for a second? Hopefully we can climb up on it with this. Oh, there we go. A little tire spin there at the bottom. We are making our way up. Excuse the sun and shadow, everyone. Trying to get these vehicles on camera and also trying to try not to fall off the edge. The Wltoys has made it off safely. Alright, moving along into our next little obstacle, our downhill corner here, which is definitely more fun coming up around the other way. Wltoys showing off that awesome steering radius there. Turning radius, I should say. No problem climbing up and through. Gen 8 showing off its awesome turning radius, which it actually has a great turning radius. 47 degrees. And with that 313mm wheelbase, it turns pretty good. Down our rocky bypass, bypassing the rocky switchback. Once again, bypassing certain areas of the course, we're going to head on over to the new course here. Take Gen 8 over the wall, a little fast there. Wltoys making his way out of the dry riverbed, heading up the rock incline there, heading over towards the new track. Wltoys getting turtled up there. And that is the extent of his ground clearance. Axle snag going on there. Flat bottom buggy, but she does pretty well out here on the course. Those Wltoys, after you lock up the front diffs and whatnot, they do pretty good. Gen 8 on that same rock, showing off its belly pan clearance there. Just a total beast. Total beastie. Nice little truck after doing all the upgrades on it, that is for darn sure. Very capable. Oh, you found a little obstacle, did you? Gen 8 walking it. Continuing our way along over to one of our first sandhill descents here. Wltoys got a little tire spin going on the back edge. Little green hammer. There he goes. Oh. There she makes it. There she goes. Gen 8 walking its way up with those cheater tires. Try to speed things up here, everyone. We're going to bypass our one little storm damage section here. Those RC full drive Interco IROCs are some awesome tires. Great on the rocks, great in the sand. Really good in dry conditions. You start getting into some wet sand and things of that nature and they really start loading up. .27 turn motor. 23 tooth pinning gear. I said 21 tooth pinning gear before, but it has a 23 tooth pinning gear in it. I think you're just gonna have to gas it there, bro. When in doubt. There he goes.
Brace it out.
Working that turning radius as he works his way around the hill. Back down the other side over towards the rock bridge. Gen 8 with the cheater tires. Throwing it down. Definitely reshaping the hill a little bit. Sand can be deceiving. The hills can be deceiving as well as far as how steep it is with camera angles. And into our rock bridge. Wltoys dirty green hammer. Green Hammer fighting for some traction on the way in. Got some wicked lean going, which we're not seeing on camera because I'm on the wrong angle for that. Could be a difficult climb, lots of little nooks and crannies in here that can stop you dead in your tracks. Working his way off the edge, which is another little spot that can just drag your front tire right on downhill. Oh, there he goes. Not the easiest climb, everyone. Cameras can be deceiving as far as angles and things of that nature. We got a little bit of dirt in our bed on the old Gen 8 there. Gen 8 walking right on up. Green Hammer making his way along, coming off of the rock bridge and heading on up to the major storm damage section, which is getting pretty gnarly. All the rain that we've had through here the last few weeks is washing all our dirt out from between the logs. So that storm damage section is getting some actual storm damage on it. It's becoming quite difficult to make it through. Green Hammer coming into the storm damage. It's a very difficult area. All these logs sticking up in different directions, especially with a vehicle with poor turning radius. This can be a spot where you can really do damage to your drivetrain if you're not careful. He's making his way through. A couple little adjustments, but he's making through okay. Gen 8 working its way into the storm damage. This is a spot that can really show off some articulation as you're trying to maneuver your way through. It's a spot where you definitely need some legs to get through it, not a lot of stretch. Coming out of our storm damage and heading on over towards Prometheus, past our dilapidated log cabin. First cabin on the track. Down out of the woods and heading into Prometheus. Green Hammer's making his way in. The Prometheus off cambers. Little adjustment and back out the other side. Testament to all the rain up here, everyone. Our little Prometheus head, mannequin head here. Looks like it's wearing a turtleneck. That's from the erosion right there. Cutting the dirt that was packed in around its neck. It's cutting her straight down, almost like a little butte. Continuing our way along up to the log bridge, or log crossing I should say, not a log bridge. Not too bad going this way, relatively easy climb. Coming back the other way, once again, can be a little bit of a nightmare coming back up that other side. Doesn't look like much, but it's all pitching down towards us. So your truck just wants to slide off to the one side. Working his way down the sand hill, Green Hammer. Gen 8 rolling in. We widened up this hill as well. Put a little bit more of a bend on it, so it's coming around the corner a little bit more. Another little add-on that we're doing here. More construction as we're perfecting things on the course. Wltoys coming into the over-under rock bridge, making his way up without a problem. making his way out from underneath the rock bridge and up the next sand hill. He is running a Traxxas 6000 milliamp 50C 2S LiPo. So that's a 50C discharge rate. Give you a little bit of punch that you might need. A little extra punch. 6000 milliamp. Soft pack. Oh, there he goes. Nice job there. You got that torn up pretty good over there. Give you an idea of what we're climbing out of there. Yeah, those tires throwing down. Gen 8 is throwing it down. So this is another spot that we're adding on to, everyone. Right through here, we removed all the logs that were going around this corner, and we're getting ready to rock this entire corner. We're going to change the entire shape of it, dig this down a little bit more. We're rocking in between those two trees. We removed our not so muddy mud bog, and we're going to put in a new mud bog lower down on the track with the pond liner that we have purchased. And then we're going to be heading into our big sand hill, which is still under construction over there and getting larger. So this is all stuff that's currently under construction, everyone. Not finished. Hammer making his way through. No set route through here as of yet, once again because it's still under construction. Yeah, so this whole area is still under construction, everyone. Excuse the mess. So coming up to our sand hill, everyone, once again, this is all under construction still. Adding more sand to it as we go, building the rock wall around it. So we have our new sand hill right here. Getting larger, getting wider, getting taller. Gonna be building this up even taller yet. Once again, rock wall around the side. Still working on the rock wall going around this side. Having another entranceway right here on the back, which is branching off. And it's gonna head out into the woods for a trail network. So we're gonna add a big trail network out into the woods back there. And this is our first offshoot for our new trail network, which is going to come in off the back of this hill, over top of the stump and around the stump, and then we're going to branch off into the woods. Here's a look at the rock wall that we have on the back half of our sand hill. And we're going to add another, still need to add another layer of rock across the top of it, so we can continue to build our sand up a little bit taller, so we can get our hill up a little bit higher over here. So we need to add another layer of rock around here so we can build this up a little bit higher. Widened out the face of it across here quite a bit. Adding our rock wall all the way down the side. So once again, gonna add another rock wall on the top on the left to build this up even more, so we can add even more sand on this and make this even larger. We have a couple routes coming back up. We've got our sandy route going up this way. We have our tree root climb coming up through in between if we want to go that route. And a little chipmunk home preserved right down there with his own custom rock wall. This is that big rock that we pulled out of the ground, everyone, not the side track. This is the one that we pulled up with the tractor. You can see how much was sticking out of the ground, just that little bit right there with the moss on it, everyone. Just this little bit right here was the only part sticking out of the ground. The rest of this was completely buried. There's definitely a gnarly looking little rock there. A lot of cool angles, a lot of cool quartz sections running through it. So either we're going to crawl up this one, everyone, or we're going to make that into another bridge topper right there. So it could be another over-under rock bridge in the making. And some of the other ones that we've collected as well, they were getting ready to place out on the course. So stockpiling rocks here and there. As we put this stuff together. Once again, all rescued from the woods. All dug out of the ground. Alright, making our approach up to the sand hill. This whole section is going to get filled with sand. So it's pretty deep right now, dug out. Got a lot of filling to do down here. This could be a very difficult climb. The old green hammer. Unless it's all throttle orientated. Right now the sand is wet enough at the bottom of the hill, but it's going to load up in his tires. He's not really going to get too much traction. And then the sand is a little bit drier up top, so a little combination. That dry sand will be okay if you can get that wet sand out of his tires. It'll be a very difficult obstacle. Easily a 10-minute hill. Winch is not required, but you would definitely be better off with having one, just in case. Try to give you some ideas on our angles here. You can hear that sand creeping into his new CVD joints on that rear drive shaft and on the front CVDs. A little bit of sand grind. Now we removed the bottom half of the spur gear cover on this vehicle, everyone, just to let any kind of incoming sand right back out. I don't think anybody knows this or not, but the spur gear cover on the Wltoys or twin hammers is not very well sealed. There's a big open gap right between the motor and the cover. About as big as your pinky. The sand can go right into the spur gear. Are you feeling a little winch action might be needed?
It might be.
I'll back up a little bit in case you want to get a full run on it. Yeah, full pull. And he might be in trouble. Working his way over to the rocks here. See if we can get some traction on the rocks. Getting those new tires dirty, getting those new wheels dirty. He is down on his chassis. Yeah, he might be in a spot. Sand build up on the hood of the inside of the vehicle there. Still chewing his way through. Very difficult hill. Trying to get a little piece of action off that rock there. But he is stuck pretty good. He's going to need a winching. I want you to just hang out right there and we'll bring the Gen 8 along. Hopefully we can make it up this Got those cheater tires, but they work better on an open hold wheel. A wheel with open air holes. And we currently have it on sealed wheels. I'll give your servo a little tweak there, E. There we go. Redcat Gen 8 giving her hell. Definitely throwing some sand. Those cheater tires on there. Burying our buggy here in the process. Using the buggy for traction. I suppose we could just tie a strap to the old Wltoys and tow it up, but we got this brand new winch on the front, so why don't we try it out? Nice. We finally got the WL up the hill there, making his way along. Coming around through the old town of Old Stump here. That's Old Stump log cabin. Sand falling off that car still. He makes his way along. That's awesome. That little sandy buildup there, eh? Mm-hmm. Oh boy, I'm getting high up on that stump. Man, that truck's got some flex. WL making his way up. Getting back over the top of our soon to be over under rock bridge there. Over under rock bridge. Another over under bridge, over under bridge. Wltoys making his way over into the downhill sweeping rock turn. Gen 8 heading into that same direction. Be a pretty steep area over here. A lot of gnarly angles on the back of these rocks that you don't see on camera. Full articulation here on the Gen 8 as we make our way down. Wltoys making his way up and around the tree here. Another hill that can be insanely difficult to climb. Oh, he's looking like he's in trouble. Oh, he's sliding off onto the other section. Oh boy. Oh, that could be a rollover in the making. Oh, there's our first official rollover with the Wltoys. Take two on the Wltoys after a little rollover. Got some dirt inside our spur gear. It's going to be a very difficult hill. Doesn't look like it on camera, but there's a lot of different angles on those rocks that can just take your vehicle straight down the hill. That rock currently that he has his front tire on, the passenger side front, has a nice little curve there on it that he just went through. And that takes your back tire downhill. Sometimes you can nail it just like that, and other times it can be a real fight. All the dirt pouring out of the back of that truck as I'm making my way around the corner there. Gen 8 walking right on up with the 1.9 Canyon Trail cheater tires. Green Hammer making his way over. Heading back down the other side. Into our over under brick bridge there. Gen 8 making his way over. Green Hammer's progressing his way along. Just coasting down this hill for the most part. Everyone is kind of rolling. Trying to get this video done in a timely fashion and show you guys all the upgrades we made on the vehicles at the same time. And now from underneath the over-under brick bridge, Green Hammer is making his way to the exit on the course. Climbing up and over Raptor Rock. Making his way up the hill. Heading up towards Trackside Mac. Gen 8 making his way along. Up and over Raptor Rock. Showing off that articulation and that plush suspension, ultra plush. Gen 8 making his way along. Coming up to the back of the old Wltoys Green Hammer. Getting our way back on out. Heading back towards the podium. There she goes, getting loaded back up onto the trailer. That is the end of her first run. Wltoys Green Hammer, Redcat, Gen 8 Jeep Comanche. There you have it, everyone. We got our Wltoys Green Hammer loaded back up on the trailer, sitting behind that Traxxas Trx6 6x6. Definitely a good use for the 6x6, that is for sure. And definitely a good use for that Fayiu as well with the Tandom Axle trailer. It does a nice job of hauling that Wltoys around. So that's going to do it, everyone. Very much appreciated for y'all sticking around and watching the video. And we'll see you all in the next one. Thanks again.